Before I push out of the gate on a course, the last thing going through my head is kind of just what my cues are for each point in the run. You know, every mogul course is really different. There's specific nuances to each one, and what I'm focusing on might be different course to course, different in different parts of the course, but kind of know what are the points I need to hit at each section to put down the performance I need to. It's a very technical sport, mogul skiing, and then we're also up against the elements a fair bit. You know, conditions change as the temperature changes. Can be icy, can be slushy, powder bumps. And then on top of that, it's also the snow moves when you're skiing it. So every run is different because you'll have had 20 other people ski it by the time you come around again. So you kind of got to be able to adapt as you go. I come here for the scaredy cat, but there is also a genuine risk to what we're doing. We do an extreme sport. Things go very wrong when they go wrong, so I think it's probably kind of healthy to have a little bit of a fear with what we do. Can't be the overriding factor, the fear, but it's just something that's always there in the background. Some days it's a bit stronger than others. I've definitely gone through times in my career where expectations have got the better of me and I've felt that pressure. I have very high expectations of myself. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but if I can use that to my advantage, then that's what drives me to keep trying to improve every day. It can be overwhelming sometimes, and then there's also expectations from other people. That's one of those other things you can't control, and when you're listening to those, it can make things get pretty tricky and feel overwhelming, so it's trying to focus back in on what it is that you can do. For me, the motivation, you know, it ebbs and flows. Sometimes it's higher, sometimes it's not. You can't just rely on that to be what gets you out of bed, training and competition every day. For me, it's the goals that I have in the sport. It's things that I want to achieve outside of the results, things that are more in my control. So jumps I want to do, ways I want to ski, certain things I want to do with my technique, kind of more the mastery side of the sport. So my parents are the reason I ended up in winter sport. They actually met at Mount Buller, the ski fields in Victoria. I think Dad was working as a taxi driver when he was younger and Mum was a liftie. And so then when they had my brother and I, they decided we'd go up there every winter as a family. First memory of the snow would have to be at Mount Buller, just going up as a family and getting to go out all day, ski around, ski through the trees, go to the ski school or sometimes ski with Mum and Dad. I think I did my first moguls competition in inter-schools when I was 8 years old. I started competing in it because inter-schools, purpose of it is kind of to expose you to all the different sports if you want to. So I used to do all the skiing disciplines, all the snowboarding disciplines, all the cross-country disciplines, but I think the fact that there was so many aspects to mogul skiing is what I really liked. It wasn't just doing jumps or just doing turns, it's like a combo of everything. So many different ways you could go about resilience, but I think right now for me it's just being able to kind of roll with the punches and get up and try again no matter what you face. You know, it's pretty difficult sport. There's, like I said, a lot of aspects to it, a lot of different things you need to be able to master, and then there's all those other things that come with it, like all the travel, being away from home, all that kind of stuff. So kind of trying to be able to make the most of it regardless of all that. You're definitely not staying in 5-star hotels on tour, but it's a pretty special experience to get to so many different places to compete in different events, but it's a pretty big learning curve too. You know, the last tour I did, I think we were 16 events across 8 or 9 countries. Like, it's a big season, a lot of travel, a lot of impact on your body. That was a pretty wild season, winning 14 out of 16 events. It was the biggest season we'd ever had to date with 16 competitions. So we were just taking it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, you know, not trying to get too far ahead of myself because it could feel pretty overwhelming then, just even the fact that we had 16 comps to compete at. So yeah, just taking each day as it came and keep on trying to work on all those little goals I had, that mastery kind of side as we were going through it, as well as competing. So I don't think that put pressure on me. I think it was just great confirmation that what we had been doing was heading in the right direction. You know, the things that we were working on were helping me put down better runs more consistently. So yeah, I think that's what I took away from it. Each of my Olympic campaigns have been pretty different. That first one, Pyeongchang, I went in as a bit of a underdog. You know, there wasn't too much attention around me. I was just there for the experience, and then on the back of that, a little bit more. That 4th place result for me in Pyeongchang was a personal best. I was over the moon. It was really exciting, and it just kind of confirmed that I knew that I had the potential to keep progressing and I was on track to going to where I needed to. Heading into Beijing, I was a favourite, but it was a COVID game. So again, we were kind of a bit more sheltered from all that. We had the gold medalist from 2018 and from 2014, I think, competing in the field still. But it kind of didn't make a difference to me. You know, I'm competing with them every week on the World Cup tour. It's actually a smaller field than we compete with on World Cup at the Olympics. So yeah, and what they do is out of my control. So I'm just there trying to focus on what it is that I can do. We're always chasing perfection in our sport, but it's a judged sport. So that score 100 out of 100 doesn't exist. And like I was saying before, the courses are also different. So it looks different on every course, you know. What I skied on the Beijing course is very different to a performance I would put down somewhere else. But I think I did a really great job on that night for what the course was like. And I'm pretty stoked if some people think that's perfect, I'll take that. But that's one of the realities of our sport is I will never do a perfect run, even though I'm striving to do that. You know, to win that Olympic medal, that was everything that I'd dreamed of as a kid and everything myself and my team had been working towards. And we just did such a phenomenal job at leaving no stone unturned. So when it came to the day to actually do it, we knew that we'd given ourselves every chance possible to go out there and take that home and to put down the run that I knew I needed to. And I was able to do that, so I was really proud of it. It definitely changes a lot of things, winning the gold medal. You know, for me, I've had a lot more opportunities and a lot more support post that. And that's been really great and helpful for continuing to progress my career. So I'm really fortunate for that. It's a fair privilege to be in the spot where people think that you could go into the games and take home 2 gold medals. Obviously, I would love that, but again, the results is something out of my control and it's a long way away. It is the end goal, but if I'm thinking about that every day, I'm not going to be ticking off those little bits along the way that I need to do. So just trying to stay a bit more present in what it is I can do now to set myself up for success then. Pete's been along for the journey since I was about 12 years old. So I've worked with Pete since I was in a club program through NSWIS and to the Olympic Winter Institute. We've gone to 2 Olympics together now. The Olympic gold medal, we've broken records on the World Cup circuit, taken home crystal globes, and yeah, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to do it all without him. You know, he's the one person that's had unwavering support throughout my whole career, throughout the highs and lows, and yeah, I'm so grateful to have him as part of my team.